Hi there, I'm Vincent Bos and I provide dating and self-improvement advice. And in today's podcast, we're going to be discussing secrets dumpers don't want you to know. I provide audio and email coaching to help people try and get their ex back or get a new girlfriend or boyfriend. Check out my website for more details. www.dateme.tips. Please check your spam and junk folders if you are expecting an email from me. So now let's get back into today's podcast, and today we are discussing secrets dumpers don't want you to know. So if you have been dumped and you want to try to get your ex back, it's very natural to be wondering what your ex the dumper is thinking. It's also very natural to assume that your ex the dumper is living a very straightforward life. There is no reason, you think, to assume that they have any secrets right now, because everything seems to have come straightforward and has been very blunt. They have ended the relationship, and no doubt you didn't want that to happen. Therefore, by the very virtue that they was able to end the relationship, to break your heart, you are thinking to yourself, if they are able to end the relationship, if they are able to break my heart, then why on earth would they keep anything secret right now? It seems like that they are speaking freely, they've got everything off their chest, and there is nothing that could be surprising or secretive about their thoughts. But let me tell you, there are many things that a dumper doesn't want a dumpee to know, and in today's podcast, I'm going to be letting you know of 3 of them. So in today's podcast, I'm going to be telling you 3 secrets that dumpers don't want you to know. So let's get straight into this, and number 1 is life isn't easy for them. So when your relationship has ended, you are the dumpee, you are feeling very upset, very confused, and very much like your ex the dumper is living their best life. And this is often because social media is a way to present ourselves in the best possible way. If you have an ex, a dumper, who uses social media, you might be looking at it and thinking, wow, they are living an incredible life right now. They are never thinking of me and they aren't missing me at all. Why would they be? They are living such an exciting, fulfilling life. But I'm here to tell you that in most instances, life isn't as easy for a dumper as you might be thinking. Life isn't as easy for a dumper as they might be presenting to you, especially through social media. They could be doing this through other means as well, such as friends of friends, but whatever the situation is, please remember that people in this position are always wanting to showcase what they like to believe is their best life. They want other people to see that they are living their best life. And it's not really just dumpers. When you think about it, most of us who use social media want to showcase our best life. So when you see that your ex, the dumper, is doing all of these things, if they're going to parties, if they're expressing themselves in certain ways which make you think that they are really happy, they're excited and they're having fun, you've got to understand that these have been things that they've put on social media deliberately. They probably have decided not to mention that they've had a boring weekend. They probably not decided to mention that they was feeling down last Tuesday. They have not decided to mention the bleak things that they're going through right now, and instead they're showcasing their best life. Social media is very much a place where people present themselves in the way that they want to be perceived by others. And when I was mentioning earlier about friends of friends, this is another instance where dumpers might be presenting themselves through the eye of other people. If you have an acquaintance or a friend of a friend or maybe a family member that knows both of you, if and when you speak to them and say, oh, have you spoke to my ex? And they might say, yeah, they're doing really good. You've got to consider, well, when this person spoke to your ex wants to let on that they are living their best life. Now, of course, not every dumper is going to be suffering. I'm not saying that for a second, but what I am saying is that most dumpers aren't living the best, incredible life that you might be assuming. Of course, when they first break up with you, they probably do have a few things that they want to explore as a single person. But particularly as this moves forward into time, this is less likely to be the case. Single life is hard. Things that seem new and exciting all of a sudden become old and not as exciting as they once seemed. Any new relationships or instances where your ex has got involved with somebody else is often likely to be a rebound relationship during this early period after your breakup. Think how hard it is to find the perfect person to connect with. Is it really likely that your ex would have suddenly found somebody new that is their perfect person a matter of weeks or months after your breakup? The likelihood is that this will be a short-term relationship, a rebound relationship, a fling, maybe not even as intense as that. Maybe they are just presenting themselves online in a way that makes them seem like they are mixing with new people and living an exciting life. Often, the biggest secret that a dumper does not want to tell a dumpee is that their life is not as exciting, not as wonderful, and ultimately it's a lot more challenging for them that they would want you to know. So now let's move into point number 2 and the second point in today's podcast of secrets that dumpers don't want you to know. And number 2 is that they think about you. As a dumpee, it's very easy to think to yourself, my ex, the dumper, will never ever think about me. Why would they? They've dumped me and now they're living their best life, it seems, as we was mentioning in point number 1. But I'm here to tell you that your ex, the dumper, will be thinking about you. If you think of all of the triggers that make you think of your ex, this is the same for the dumper. They are thinking the exact same things that you are when they have the same triggers. If you hear a certain song, it reminds you of your ex. Well, if they hear that song, it will remind them of you. If you go to a certain location, it reminds you of when you was with your ex in this location. The same will happen with your ex, the dumper. They don't automatically forget everything that happened, and they certainly don't forget the positive memories that you've shared together. Something called the fading effect bias comes into play the longer you have been apart. The more months that tick by, the fading effect bias becomes stronger and stronger. And this is the concept that negative memories lose value much sooner than positive memories. So in essence, negative memories lose importance in somebody's mind at a quicker pace than positive memories do. So as the months move by, you might be thinking, oh gosh, my ex is now forgetting me, months and months have gone by. But in fact, your ex will be more likely to think of you positively. They will still have these triggers to think of you, but they will be more likely to be thinking of the positive memories rather than the negative memories, which would have begun to fade. So always remember, if you are a dumpee, your ex, the dumper, will think about you. They will never forget you. You was part of their life story, and you always will be part of their life story. In fact, you might even be part of future chapters, because we never know what the future holds. I'm certainly not encouraging you to clock watch and to stand still. You need to move forward as a dumpee. You need to move forward with your life and see what the world has in store for you. But always remember that if the future has been unwritten, we never know what the future holds, and there is every chance but one day in the future you will hear from your ex again, and therefore you will have opportunity to make a decision at that point if you want to try to reconnect. Don't stand still, because there is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back, and nothing is for certain. But also, don't be surprised if you hear from your ex again in the future, because trust me, they will always think of you, they will always be reminded of you, and you will always be a part of their story. So now let's move into point number 3, and the final point of today's podcast of secrets that dumpers don't want you to know. And number 3 is feelings can change. When you've been dumped, it's very easy to think this is it forever. I'm never going to get my ex back. They've even told me that this is it forever. They never want to hear from me again. Now look, as I said in point number 2, there is no 100% guaranteed way to get your ex back. Not all of you will, and in essence, not all of you will even want to in the future, even though it may feel like you do right now. But feelings do change. When we express feelings, we're expressing feelings in this very moment. When you was in a relationship with your ex and they told you that they loved you, that was true in that instance. At that moment, you probably never thought you could break up. But look, it's happened. And this should show you that feelings can change. Your ex was once in love with you when you was in your relationship, and now unfortunately they don't. That is a change of feelings. So why can't this happen again the other way? Well, let me tell you, it can happen the other way. We just think it can't, because our mind likes to play cruel tricks on us and presents to us the worst possible situation. So we can see how we was in love and in a relationship together, and now we are no longer together, but we can't see that the opposite can occur. But if you do everything right, you stand every opportunity of one day in the future reconnecting with your ex. Feelings can change. They once loved you, currently they don't love you, but in the future they may love you again. It is very, very possible. And if you move forward with positivity and do all of the things that I suggest, you stand every chance of growing the level of romantic emotional attraction in your ex's mind that they feel for you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, ring the bell for notifications, and make sure that you check out all of my content and playlists so you can fully immerse yourself in my theories. If you do the right things, then you stand every possibility of one day in the future your ex hitting that necessary point of romantic emotional attraction, at which stage they will make contact with you. Then it will be up to you to move through the communication stage and moving to a meetup where you can try and regrow your connection. But who knows? At that point, you might not want your ex back. You might think that's impossible right now, but trust me, you do the right things, it's win-win. Because you will either get your ex back or you will find somebody even better. And at which stage, if your ex contacts you, you won't even be interested. So follow the system, use the concepts, use the beliefs, move forward with positivity. And if you are a dumpee, always remember, in most instances, never contact your ex again unless they contact you first. To learn more about that and more of my beliefs, subscribe, ring the bell, and check out all of my content. If you believe that this podcast has helped you, then please consider buying me a coffee. The link to do so is in the description.
Yeah, if you miss your ex, we can help with that. Help you get him back, or we can help find you someone else. Yeah, Vincent Bos, the relationship coach, giving you some insight, bringing you a new approach. Date me.tips, go and check the site, giving you advice, helping with your love life. Get your ex back, or move to the next. Ain't no sweat, you know Vincent Bos got you. Finding love ain't no problem. Yeah, date me.tips, check it out now.